Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to the OuTPost Racing Network. Tonight, we'll be taking you through all the action as we kick off a brand new season of the Slingin Dirt Series Race Night in America. We've got a fantastic opening round in store from the dirt track at Charlotte, where two of the most entertaining divisions in sim racing are ready to put on one heck of a show. The hard-nosed outlaw street stocks, you're getting a look there at the 110 of Chase Copeland. They will set the tone early with plenty of beating, banging, and side-by-side racing before the fire-breathing, dragon-roaring, hooked-up super late models hit the speedway to cap off what promises to be an incredible night under the lights. Speaking of under the lights, opening nights, they're always special. You got new teams, new paint schemes, you got fresh championship hopes and dreams. Oof. And 75 laps from now, somebody will leave Charlotte with the first statement victory of the season while everyone else starts chasing them from below in the standings. Whether you're watching from home, tuning in with friends, or cheering on your favorite driver, thank you for inviting us into your home here tonight. I am Mac Nelson. I'll be your lone voice up in the booth here tonight, pushing all the buttons, making all the calls. As for down on the track, race director and league owner Derek Darnell will be making all the pivotal calls in regards to the racetrack and the racing standards. It's going to be one heck of a night, ladies and gentlemen. That is one thing that I do know for sure. We get a look there at Aaron Bowman in the number 44. We've got 8 street stocks currently out here tonight. We are at the dirt track at Charlotte, and ladies and gentlemen, if you're not necessarily in the know about the Slingin Dirt Series Race Night in America, it's going to be 2 separate classes. We got the street stocks here. We've got the hooked up super late model. So if you're a little surprised that you're not seeing late models also in the pits, it's going to be 2 different sessions. 2 completely different entities. We're going to form them together. We're going to have some really cool racing here tonight. There you see Jeffrey Hyatt in the number 2, not repping his 6 or 66. Like we normally see him rocking. Let's get a look at your track info here tonight. For round number 1, we are at the dirt track at Charlotte, located in Charlotte, North Carolina. Opened into that. Wait a minute. That can't be right. Opened in 2000? I can't believe I typed that out. Is that completely true? I'm reading it and it just seems... It seems to be wrong. No, opened in 2000. Wow. That is very, very interesting. Track lore, though, I do remember looking at this earlier. 410 sprint car record. Jeff Shepard with an 11.880 super late models goes to the man, Kyle Larson. 14.183, not to be confused with Jorgen Strand Larsen, who played in the World Cup today for Norway against France. That did not go very well for them. Get a look at your season schedule here for the Slingin Dirt Series. Round number 1 is tonight, 75 laps here at Charlotte Dirt, July 10th. This is a bi-weekly series, ladies and gentlemen. So you won't be seeing us next Friday, but July 10th will be round number 2 at Lernerville Speedway. Round number 3 going to fall on July 24th. That is going to be at Cedar Lake. Round 4 starting August the 7th at Volusia. And then round 5, August the 21st, Lima Land Motorsports Park. I'm pretty sure both of those need to be 75 laps as well. I'm not entirely sure what I was doing when I was making the graphics today. I mined in a different place, so to say. 30 seconds left in a little warm-up here. We're going to beat the track down. Drivers are going to get a feeling how they want it to feel, and then we're going to head into our feature race here tonight for our Outlaw Street Stocks drivers, putting in their last time before the buzzer sounds. The checkered flag on this warm-up session is going to wave. There is Mr. Tyler Bickford in the 07. Clean looking street stock there. Had to take a drink of my water. I'm trying not to delay the inevitable here. I'm trying to keep my throat hydrated, and that I shouldn't have said that. Green flag is about to wave here in just a second, ladies and gentlemen. That means our feature race will be starting. Means we can get into our starting grid for the race here tonight at Charlotte. On that pole position is going to be Derek Darnell in the number 86. Representing Midwest Sim Sports, Tyler Bickford is going to be on the outside of that pole row in P2. Chase Copeland in the number 110, representing Midwest Sim Sports. He will be in P3. Outside row number 2, going to be Jeffrey Hyatt, also representing Midwest Sim Sports. In P5, Jordan McLean in the number 5. Outside of him is going to be TJ Boyd in the number 15. Shotsy, Mr. Brandon Schatz in the number 34 for Midwest Sim Sports. He is going to be in P7. And dragging up the rear, unfortunately, is going to be Aaron Bowman in the number 44, although the league has him classified at number 6. So very interesting here. We're going to have an extremely compressed street stock show here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, because of the unfortunate car count that we do have, but the action is still going to be there. The racing, the rubbing, the wheel-to-wheel action, always going to be evident, especially when you're at Charlotte here. And mix that with the street stocks. We're going to be seeing sliders from everyone here tonight as the drivers of the Slingin Dirt Series race night in America. They box up. It's going to be quite beautiful, might I add, here tonight. iRacing official pace truck going to make its way into the safety of the infield. Derek Darnell is going to pull the button early. We are green here at Charlotte. Look at the 07 Tyler Bickford trying to jockey for position there, get on the top side. It's going to be 3 wide between Chase Copeland, Jeffrey Hyatt, and Jordan McLean. Into turn number 1, Chase Copeland in the 110, not going to see any advantageous side effects from him taking that top line. Down in the bottom, gonna be Brandon Schatz, I believe. No, that is Jordan McLean still in that number 5. First week, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta get used to what all the cars are gonna look like. TJ Boyd not having the greatest of starts. You can see him all the way in the back in P8. He started the race P6 just a few laps ago. Brandon Schatz is going to be getting into the wall. Can't get the rear end to slide out heading into turn number 1. That's going to be a tight race car. That is not what you want to feel here in these street stocks. Chase Copeland in that 110 trying to maintain the momentum around the top side where the Angels sing. Jordan McLean is going to nip that one in the butt. Or bud. I'm not entirely sure how that saying goes, but either way, Chase Copeland still fighting side by side with Jordan McLean here as they go down into turn number 1. Do not sleep on this battle for the lead. It was 3 wide in the apex of T1. Now Tyler Bickford has the advantage down the back straight into turns number 3 and 4. Derek Darnell, race director, league owner. I might have gotten it wrong, though, in the jump. I believe it might be Ricky Barfield who might be directing the race, as all the other 3 in the race control channel are currently out on track. So I'm not entirely sure who's pushing the buttons, making all the calls, but regardless, big shout out to them for being the race director here tonight. Tyler Bickford with an 18.02. That last time around, that's going to mimic Jeffrey Hyatt's best lap. However, Tyler Bickford's best is about a 10th faster than that at a 17.95. So whatever plan Tyler Bickford is executing and running, it seems to be the one. 17 laps to go. We're going to have a fairly short show here tonight on the street stock side of things, ladies and gentlemen, but do not go anywhere because our hooked up super late models are going to be right after this, and it is going to field a bit more than the 8 cars we see here tonight. Rumors around the mill are telling me it's going to be a $100 to win race here tonight for the hooked up super late model, so do not go anywhere. Jeffrey Hyatt still trying to inch every single advantage he can out of that bottom to middle line, but Tyler Bickford is just too quick. Around this top side and around they go again. Jeffrey Hyatt desperately looking for some sort of grip, some sort of groove that can get his pace just a tiny bit better. But it looks like all that fighting, all the trials and tribulations might be for naught, because Tyler Bickford, well, I know we're racing the hooked up super late models here in just a few minutes time, but hey, this street stock, this 07 street stock seems pretty hooked up to me, man. Tyler Bickford is absolutely cooking around that top side. We cannot forget about the battle for this podium. However, Jordan McLean, Chase Copeland, both trying to dethrone Mr. Derek Darnell, who started this race on pole. He now finds himself in P3. Jordan McLean doing basically the same thing we're seeing Jeffrey Hyatt do to Tyler Bickford, but this is going to be Jordan McLean that's receiving it, or trying to, as Chase Copeland now dives down to the inside. He is going to put his nose into the picture and say, well, hang on just a minute, gentlemen. I'm still in this race. And although the top 2 might be pretty far away from the rest of the pack, it's still going to be the final step on that rostrum that these drivers are fighting for. Getting a podium in week 1 of Race Night in America for the Outlaw Street Stock Series. That would be pretty cool. Derek Darnell, Jordan McLean fighting over that P3 spot. Chase Copeland has now kind of found himself at a disadvantage. He ran a few tenths slower that last time around, so something not really working for Copeland, and as he is going to hit the wall again. Only 7 laps to go, so he is going to have to get hooked back up quite quick if he wants to try to catch those 2 drivers. We look now at your battle for the lead. Tyler Bickford in the number 07 Still out to a sizable advantage over his teammate, yet foe here on the racetrack, Jeffrey Hyatt. As Jeffrey Hyatt always coming through with a clean wrap. Kind of reminds me of that Melon Mountain Dew they tried to release a couple years ago. I don't know if you guys remember that. That might be ball knowledge. I'm not sure. Either way, Jeffrey Hyatt is trying to do the do. And that do is to subdue Tyler Bickford here in the race. 5 laps remaining. It's a 7/10 of a second gap from our leader, Bickford, back to Hyatt. It's still spicy for P4 now. Unfortunately, for those two drivers, Copeland and Darnell, Jordan McLean has kind of gotten out and away, really. And I'm trying to look here at the lap times. They don't seem too skewed. So I guess it's just over the course of a few laps, Jordan McLean just managed to squeak out a little advantage every single time around. Tyler Bickford's going to come around turn 3 and 4. It's going to be 2 sticks up in the air for Barney the Flagman. 2 laps to go here in our debut of the Slingin Dirt Series Race Night in America Outlaw Street Stock Series. Tyler Bickford has been pretty much pixel perfect here tonight, and he continues that all the way to the checkered flag, week number 1 of this 13-week bi-weekly series. Started tonight, and it starts with Tyler Bickford taking the checkered flag. Fantastic run there from Tyler Bickford. Jeffrey Hyatt is going to claim P2 with Jordan McLean in P3. What a fantastic show these drivers put on tonight here, but it's just a little taste of what's to come here in a few. Chase Copeland finishing P4, Derek Darnell P5, Aaron Bowman, Brandon Schatz, and TJ Boyd rounding out the grid. There is your top 3. And here in just a second, we'll have an interview with, I believe, the winner of this race, which was Tyler Bickford. So we'll have to see if he can hop into the OuTPost Racing Network Global Broadcast booth. Yes, sir. Here we have him. It's going to be your winner here tonight, Tyler Bickford in the 07. Well, Tyler, you got it done. Unfortunately, it was a little bit low of a car count, but you got it done, man. How's it feel?
Feels great. I mean, all the guys in there were fast, so to come out on top of even that small field feels pretty good, you know?
Yes, sir. I agree. Now, I'm not entirely sure if you are running the Super Late Model Series that is about to take place, but if you are, does this give you confidence going into that? I know they're kind of very different beast when it comes to driving them on both in real life and on the iRacing official sim, of course, but does it give you a little bit of confidence knowing that, you know, to start the night, you got it done, you're in P1?
I mean, sure, gives me a little confidence boost, but it's not everything, you know. Cars are different, track's probably gonna be a little bit different, so it's definitely a longer race, so I gotta conserve a little bit, and a lot of different things come into play. Hopefully I come out with a decent finish there as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, hopefully you do too. Maybe we'll be talking to you here twice tonight. But before we let you go, is there anybody you would like to shout out or thank for tonight's performance?
You for broadcasting this, Slingin Dirt, Midwest Sim Sports, CFM, Aces and Nate Designs, anybody else, man.
Yes,
I know
sir.
who they are.
Yeah, well, that is your winner here tonight, Tyler Bickford. Hopefully we're talking to you here soon when the hooked up super late models take to the track.
Hope so.
And now, real quick, we'll bring in our P3 finisher, going to be Jordan McLean in the number 5. Jordan, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Now, unfortunately, due to the car count, it was a little bit of a taste of what we can expect here in Race Night in America, the Outlaw Street Stock Series, but you got a small sample size, potentially with some of the titans that you're going to be battling up front every single week. So how did it feel to kind of get out there in, I know the first week jitters are probably there, but it's a low-stress environment with the amount of cars. So do you think that kind of helped you maybe get accustomed to what you might be experiencing here in this league?
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. I don't have a lot of experience in the street stock, so it was nice to have a little pressure off of me and just run my race.
Now, considering you did do pretty good here tonight, you got it done P3 final step on the rostrum here tonight. Does that give you any bit of confidence heading into our second class here tonight, the hooked up super late models?
Oh yeah, that's more my wheelhouse. It felt nice to kind of get some laps in on the track and kind of see where the lines are going to be at. So yeah, I'm pretty confident.
Yes, sir. Well, we'll let you get out of here and celebrate, and not only celebrate, but prep for the late model work that you have to do here shortly. But before we do, is there anybody you would like to shout out or thank for tonight's performance?
Yeah, I want to thank the guys over at Midwest Sim Sports, my wife, Savannah McLean Art. I want to thank Daryl for putting this on, and of course you for broadcasting it. Looking forward to the rest of the season.
Well, thank you for the kind words there, sir. That is your third place finisher here tonight in the Outlaw Street Stocks, and the number 5, Jordan McLean. And now, real quick, ladies and gentlemen, we've got to do a little bit of housekeeping. I have got to get out of this session into the next one. When we come back from commercial break, it's going to be the first week of the Slingin Dirt Series Race Night in America. Hooked up super late models coming at you next.
Experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
There might be some rain coming through. We expect rain soon. Rain is close. The session has been declared wet. No sign of this rain stopping. rain should be gone for now. Nothing but sunshine all day.
Basket can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on. Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it. They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom.
Bouchard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh
and
my
to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Slingin Dirt Series Race Night in America opening round coverage. Brought to you by the OuTPost Racing Network. We are here in the beautiful virtual dirt track at Charlotte. It's time for the hooked up super late models, and what we just saw was the Outlaw Street Stocks in action. Unfortunate that there was only 8 of them, but hey, I'm sure that car count is going to be going up by the week. We've got almost 20 super late models pulling into the pits, getting ready to go to war in what has been a bombshell of a surprise. Derek Darnell coming through. Kazi, I believe, is his nickname, his little alias in the gaming world, much like mine is Arsenal. But he dropped in the announcements, if I can find it, that the race tonight is going to be $100 to win, if I'm not mistaken. But now that I say it, I'm trying to find it for the purpose of confirmation. However, I'm not. Oh, yes. As of 6:31 p.m., $100 to win super late model opening race here tonight. And how lovely, ladies and gentlemen. If you are not aware, my name is Mac Nelson. I'll be your lone voice up here in the booth tonight, pushing all the buttons, making all the calls. When it comes to the entertainment value, I am not a race director nor race control, so that falls to somebody else who I'm not entirely sure is in charge. But look at that, your street stock winner. Here just a few moments ago, the 07 of Tyler Bickford. He has traded out that Outlaw Street Stock for a hooked up super late model. And he comes through with the pristine wrap. He is looking to sweep the night and make it 2 for 2. Here in the SDS, a little north of 20 minutes to go in practice here. Not sure how long we are actually doing practice here, as I'm pretty sure it's a beefy practice size, just to make sure everyone comes through from the Outlaw Street Stock session. It is 2 completely different sessions. So I'm sure the tracks right now are getting packed down, burned out. Drivers are getting accustomed to where the grip might be here when they take their super late models out to action. Just a little behind Tyler Bickford is going to be the 110 of Chase Copeland. Bentley Stewart also out on track. He did not get P3 at Charlotte. I got to clear that. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Jordan McLean, who did get P3 at Charlotte just a few minutes ago in our street stock class, he is out on track here in the super late models. Jeffrey Hyatt here as well. Rocking a 2 here tonight in the super late models as well. Not rocking his standard 6 or 66 that we're so used to seeing out of him in the No Limit Racing Crown Jewel Tour, also in the Dirt Revival Tour and the Win Cash Wednesday races. All of those you can catch right here on the OuTPost Racing Network. I also want to take just a little moment here to shout out Monster Graphics, who did hop on board with the league, or with the network, I apologize, not the league. So Monster Graphics stepping on board with the OuTPost Racing Network, providing us with some cool graphics from time to time, showing their generous patronage as well. Also, the OuTPost Racing League, which is going under a little bit of a reconstruction phase, I must be honest. We did not have the Win Cash Wednesday race this week. I'm trying to kind of think of ways to level stuff up. Maybe become a little cooler of an opportunity for you guys to win some cash on Wednesday nights. As for the league, their logos will be in the top right for the entirety of the night. First off, obviously, the Slingin Series brought to you by Star Race Cars and Richard Call Racing RKR. They also hopped on board. You'll be able to see his logo flashing in the top right all night. So big shout out to RK Racing for hopping on board as well with the series, allowing for us to go racing every single Friday night, not only in these super late models that you're seeing here, but in the street stock class as well. There you see Eric Zulske in the number 35. That was kind of Aura. I think I might have pronounced that correctly. I know that's not a normal thing for me. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not pronounce names correctly the first time. Typically, they, message me on Discord after the fact, and they say, hey, man, I enjoyed the broadcast, but it is pronounced this. And see, that one always hurts. But, to be fair, they are extremely respectful, and I am saying their name wrong, so if I do say your name wrong, please correct me. Brandon Schatz, Mr. Schatzy in the number 34. He did not have the best go of things in the street stock division here. And actually, while I have a minute, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go up to the blimp, to the Outpost Racing Network blimp. We're going to get an aerial view of things here. While I go... Actually, I apologize. We are not going to be doing that. I was going to go use the bathroom and refill my water, but qualifying is starting. We're going to nip that in the bud real quick. I need to actually learn how that saying goes if I'm going to be saying it multiple times. Eric Zulske, Brandon Schatz, Derek Darnell. Your first drivers out on track will hop on board. With Schatzy here in the number 34, let's get a look at his flying lap here at Charlotte. Brandon Schatz running one heck of a time there, but it is going to be bested by not only Tyler Bickford, but also the driver that I just mentioned in the number 35, Eric Zulske. He is going to be running a 14.46, which is going to be good enough for provisional pole. Tyler Bickford, in his second attempt, only going to do 14.48. Aiden Lewis, who has bursted onto the scene here in the past few weeks. I personally have noticed just how good he is getting. He got it done last week in the WCW. And he currently sits P3 when it comes to qualifying here. TJ Boyd coming in with a 14.60. That's going to be good enough for provisional P7. Dylan Jones, we haven't seen on the network in a few weeks. He is going to be in the number 32 tonight, running a 14.58, good enough for P5. Scott Dobbs as well, going to be running a 14.53, which is good enough for P5. Bentley Stewart has just came and blazed the leaderboard, as he is going to climb to the top with a 14.42. Aiden Lewis is going to be running a 14.462 compared to the 4.66 ran by Zulske. We've got Clifford Driscoll, a name I can only assume would be heard back in the day on maybe Red Dead Redemption 1 or 2, but he is here in the flesh tonight. And just off name alone, this guy's stock is currently sky high. He is going to be running a 14.52. That is going to be good enough for P6, and that is everyone with a qualifying time. And now we get into heat race number 1. There's a good look at all the cars there gridding up. We'll get you started with your grid for the heat. Bentley Stewart gonna be on pole in the number 4. Eric Zulske in the number 35, going to be outside that pole row. Scott Dobbs in the number 29 in P3. Dylan Jones is going to be in P4 in the number 32. TJ Boyd and Jeffrey Hyatt are going to make up row number 3 with Brandon Schatz and Nicholas McDougall in row number 4. So it's going to be 8 cars here, 8 laps as well, if I'm not mistaken. However, there is a very good chance that I could be. It all gets mixed up to me. You know, my head is just kind of mush nowadays. But the sun is out and shining. Not sure if we'll be under the lights for the feature here tonight. We've got sound off in the chat. McDougall, Aaron Bowman, they're both vying for themselves. McDougall calling Aaron Bowman the showman. Aaron the showman Bowman. Ooh, that is clean. That is a clean nickname. Hopefully we'll see him a little later on here tonight. But for now, 8 drivers battling for a spot in the feature race. Green flag is out. Bentley Stewart pushing the button early. We'll be starting 24 drivers here tonight, so in the grand scheme of things, I believe everyone will be making it. So this 8-lap heat, really just a seeding race, as we're going to see everybody again, but where at, only time can tell. Eric Zulske there in the number 35. I've got to adjust the volume a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. These things have quite a louder roar than those street stocks we saw just a few minutes ago. Eric Zulske in the number 35 Fanatec Super Late Model. Chasing down Scott Dobbs there in the 29. Bentley Stewart already off to a 1-second lead. Dylan Jones now in the 32, trying to chase these top 3 drivers down. Although everyone does get in, it is very, very important that you do your best in these heat races, because no one wants to come from the back in these races. Driving from behind is such a harder experience than starting in a good spot. Bentley Stewart knows that. 2 sticks up in the air for Barney the Flagman. As Bentley Stewart in the number, it looks like a 1, but the league has him at number 4. He is looking very, very good here. White flag in the air one more time around for Bentley Stewart, and that is going to lock him up front for our feature race here tonight. Eric Zulske coming in P2. Dylan Jones in a barn burner with Brandon Schatz edging him out by only 0.13. Heat race number 2 set to begin, and we've got ourselves one heck of a field for this heat as well. Let's get into your starting grid. Aiden Lewis in the number 55. He got paid last week. Looking to get paid here tonight as well. Remember, guys, $100 to win. Feature race here tonight in the hooked up super late models for the Slingin Dirt Series race night in America in P2 is going to be Tyler Bickford. P3, Clifford Driscoll, part of 3D Racing. Chase Copeland, representing Midwest Sim Sports, will be in P4. Jordan McLean, Derek Darnell, going to make up row number 3. We saw both of those drivers battling each other in the street stock race. Very, very interested in seeing how this plays out for those drivers. Aaron Bowman in the number 44 is going to be in P7 with Ricky Barfield in P8. So one more time around for the iRacing official pace truck, and we'll get started with heat race number 2. And if you're a fan of side-by-side racing, banging doors, can't say the other part, but you know the words, iRacing official pace truck going to make its way into the safety of the infield. Aiden Lewis pulls the trigger halfway into turn number 3. We are green. And look at Tyler Bickford already starting to try and make a move. Clifford Driscoll does have that advantageous bottom line. We'll have to see if he can hook it up and feed off this bottom, and that's going to be Clifford Driscoll brushing the infield tractor tire there. That is no doubt going to be damage on his front end. And that is not what you want to see out of him, especially here in a heat race. Tyler Bickford with some difficulties getting that 07 to stick into the corner. Chase Copeland trying to rip it around the top, use that extra momentum to maybe stick his nose in for a move on the 07, but he's got Derek Darnell down below him. That's going to close up that half of the racing surface, so he's going to have to try to find it up top. Jordan McLean, going to always be there, as Derek Darnell in the 86 looking to slide his way up top. Aaron Bowman a few car lengths back, but he is going to look to try to put the pressure onto the number 5 of Jordan McLean. Our leader, Aiden Lewis, hasn't really faltered. It's going to be an average lap time of 14.69, with his best being a 14.66. 2 sticks in the air for Barney the Flagman. Aiden Lewis continuing a grandeur run of form. No matter what track we go to, the summer of 2026 might be his if he can continue on this streak. Aiden Lewis, he found victory last week in the feature. And here in heat race number 2, it's looking to be the same outcome. Aiden Lewis wins heat race number 2 with Tyler Bickford and Chase Copeland coming in P2 and P3 respectively. Jordan McLean missing the podium. Now we go into a 5-minute warm-up, ladies and gentlemen. We'll go to another quick commercial break. When we come back, it's going to be the 75-lap feature. $100 on the line here in the Slingin Dirt Series. It's race night in America.
iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
There might be some rain coming through. We expect rain soon. Rain is close. The session has been declared wet. No sign of this rain stopping. Rain is clearing up. Rain should be gone for now. Nothing but sunshine all day.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Slingin Dirt Series. It's race night in America. Less than a minute left of warm-up, and then we go into our 75-lap feature that will not only crown the inaugural winner here in our race night in America, Hooked Up Super Late Model Season number 1. But they're also going to be walking away with a decent bit of cheddar change. That's right, $100 to win here tonight at Charlotte. All 16 of these super late models will be vying for one thing, and that is first place. So do not go anywhere. Your starting grid is coming up very, very shortly. In P1, your pole sitter in the number 1 super late model. It's crested as number 4 on the league, but it's going to be Bentley Stewart. In P2, the number 55 of Aiden Lewis. Row number 2 is going to see Eric Zulske and Tyler Bickford. P5, Dylan Jones. P6, Chase Copeland. Brandon Schatz, Jordan McLean are going to make up row number 4. Scott Dobbs and Derek Darnell. In P5, Nicholas McDougall and Aaron Bowman. Your top 12 moving over. Jeffrey Hyatt is going to be in P13. Ricky Barfield in the 102 going to be in P14. TJ Boyd and Clifford Driscoll are going to make up your final row. That's row number 8. 16 super late models. All vying for what can only be described as something monumental. Ladies and gentlemen, $100 on the line here tonight, opening week of our Slingin Dirt series. That's going to be a little bit of technical difficulty on the side of Bentley Stewart there. As the lights are out on the iRacing official pace truck, we will be green after one more trip around the track. And key takeaway for the race here tonight is going to be to stay smooth and stay clean. 79 degrees out, 82 degrees on track, but it doesn't matter because this racing is going to be explosive. Bentley Stewart is going to bunch them all up and then go at the exit of turn number 4. We are green in the Slingin Dirt Series. Dylan Jones already being a thorn in the side of the 110 of Chase Copeland. Eric Zulske now losing spots off the jump. It happened to him as well in the heat race. 4 wide, our second time around. Brandon Schatz in the 34 is going to choose to maybe get out of that situation. I don't think he necessarily wants to be involved. Tyler Bickford being pressured by the 55 of Aiden Lewis, but Bickford awfully fast here to start things off. Hopefully it's not a situation if he runs out of his stuff a little too quickly. Bentley Stewart seems to be pushing the issue early as well. As for our drivers a little further back, it looks like Aiden Lewis is going to be starting the train of feeding around the bottom. Chase Copeland, Dylan Jones, Brandon Schatz behind them. And if we look a few more cars back, a heavy battle on the inside. That's going to be Scott Dobbs, I believe, who is under pressure from the 05 of Nicholas McDougall. So not only is the top of the grid heating up, halfway down is too. This is going to be a big battle for P8. As you can see, I mean, they are everywhere on this track. What is happening here at Charlotte? We'll get a closer look at it. Nicholas McDougall, Derek Darnell are going to be the two kind of biggest losers from that transaction. They are going to get squeezed up the track. Derek Darnell losing a few positions there. You can see him focusing steadily on the black and gold 44 of Aaron Bowman. We zoom back out and the battlefield still looks vicious as Scott Dobbs on the inside trying to stay tucked to the tail of the number 55. That's Aiden Lewis. He is going to be battling Dylan Jones. Two completely different strategies when it comes to where they're placing their car in the corner. Brandon Schatz is now starting to pick up a little bit of speed and a little bit of momentum here as we make our way through 10 laps completed. Driver starting number 11. Last lap going to be a 15.14. That is the fastest lap of the race, and it belongs to that man right there, Tyler Bickford. Now chasing down our leader, Bentley Stewart. He has not placed a tire wrong all night. We'll have to see how long that can go for. As Tyler Bickford is pressuring him big time. Little bit of connection issues again for Bentley Stewart. Let's try to hope that that doesn't plague his chances of winning the race here tonight. Down near the bottom, Jeffrey Hyatt, which is a wild thing to say. Jeffrey Hyatt not normally down in P13, but that is where he finds himself currently. Not the best day at the office so far. Going to be a 15.65. However, we do know Jeffrey Hyatt is kind of the king when it comes to saving his stuff, exploding late race, having that unfathomable and uncontestable pace towards the end of the race. So maybe he's suiting up for that again. Only time will be able to tell. But if there's one thing I can tell, it's that the 32 and 34 are running almost identical lap times. And they're wanting the identical part of the circuit. That's Dylan Jones and Brandon Schatz. So those two are going to be looking to maybe come to blows here soon. Brandon Schatz getting so close to the rear end of that number 32. Dylan Jones going to decide to take things down low for a change. Maybe that was a planned attack from Brandon Schatz. Maybe he said, you know, come on, Dylan, let me through. I think I can go to the front here. Next obstacle for Schatzy is going to be the 110 of Chase Copeland. He's got Eric Zulske a second ahead of him in P3, rocking the number 35 Fanatec Super Late model. Tyler Bickford still in P2. He is going to be sharing that top spot with Bentley Stewart, who is our true out-and-out leader here in this race. Nothing really crazy except for the fact that Aiden Lewis is in P15. That one is a little confusing. I'm not entirely sure. Let's actually go back and take a look at maybe what happened to Aiden Lewis here. We've got an OuTPost Racing Network blimp angle here. And unfortunately for Aiden Lewis, it just looks like he is going around the bottom, just losing spot after spot. So maybe not getting the setup right or something. He just seems to be falling behind pace-wise, which is something, like I said earlier, you don't really see from Aiden Lewis as of late. His run of form has been pretty solid. And that's going to be Ricky Barfield hitting the infield tractor tire. That's going to be big damage on the front end of that super late model. And oh no, he has just decided to... What on earth is happening? I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. That just, to be quite honest with you, kind of took my breath away. We'll go look at what exactly caused that yellow flag, but I'm pretty sure the secret's not going to be kept for too long. Ricky Barfield kind of just decided he was done racing, almost runs into those three innocent and unsuspecting drivers. Running the top side, yellow comes out, and then he speeds into the infield. And now he's right back out on track. Well, that... I'm not entirely sure how to call that. But... we are, we are here. We are racing. We are yellow. And unfortunately for Bentley Stewart, that amazing run is going to have to be pretty much nullified. All the advantage that he had garnered is now going to be non-existent, as he now has to have the field bunch back up. 28 laps completed here, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like we do have a bit of lane choose here. Bentley Stewart going to choose to take things up top. Tyler Bickford electing to start on the outside as well, leaving Eric Zulske on that inside. He's got free and open road. We are green again. So big shout out to the race control team for getting us back racing here very, very quickly. Chase Copeland now coming through like a freight train. He is up 4 spots and he is absolutely rolling. Drivers have completed 27, I apologize, not 28. So next time around here in just a few moments, bang, 28 laps completed. 47 now to go, and Bentley Stewart is back to business as usual. In the number 4/1 car, he is out to a 0.7 of a second lead over Chase Copeland already. Jordan McLean now up 5 spots in this race. He now sits where he finished in the Outlaw Street Stock class. It's going to be P3. He is putting immense pressure on the 110 driver of Chase Copeland. Chase Copeland representing every Monacan out there, the driver from Monaco. Representing Midwest Sim Sports as well. He is going to be in between a rock and a hard spot, because he really needs to put his head down and push the pace if he wants to keep up with Bentley Stewart, but he also has to defend from the ever so hungry Jordan McLean. Derek Darnell has now had an incident. He finds himself in the wall, and that is going to be another yellow flag out. Let's have a look. Into the corner here. Aaron Bowman's just going to ever so slightly slide up the track. Derek Darnell with no place to go. And that's going to be him making contact with the wall. And he is going to jump to the pits. And that is a very sad-looking super late model. The right front looking just a tiny bit droopy. So I'm not sure if he is going to be able to get that fixed and back out on circuit or not. However, one thing I do know for sure, Bentley Stewart is feeling good. After the first restart, he still got out and away from the rest of the grid with no problem. We'll have to see if he can do it this time around. I don't believe. Yes, iRacing official pace truck there with the lights still on. We'll have to look. Lights are out, so this time by, we will be going green. It will be our 3rd race start of the night, and will it be our final one? Almost. Eclipsing the halfway point here. Drivers are going to be starting to want to settle into their spots, get into their final kind of cruising position, I should say, before you start really making those moves to help the end of the race, help you get to where you want to be. Bentley Stewart, he's got the race starts on point. He is going to be out and away in front of Chase Copeland, already a 0.5 second advantage. Chase Copeland pushing the advantage to be even bigger when it comes to Jordan McLean. 0.6 of a second from 1 to 2. Almost a second separating Chase Copeland and Jordan McLean, but there's more problems for McLean than that. Brandon Schatz is now hooking up, finding the right pace, and as I say that, it's going to be a commentator's curse. Aaron Bowman doing his bottom, and he is going to be turned around on track. And Brandon Schatz is now in a world of hurt in that number 34 super late model. We'll go back and take a look here. Brandon Schatz, he comes around the turn and wow. So he got kind of brake checked by Zulskate there. I'm not entirely sure what exactly happened to Zulskate's car, so obviously I'm not saying it was malicious or intentionally dirty. However, the same thing kind of happened to him a few corners later. That's going to be Brandon Schatz back into the pit, getting a repair on his car, and he is going to have to start from all the way in the back. Bentley Stewart still going to be leading this race. Only 36 laps to go. As Chase Copeland in the 110, going to be trailing our leader, Jordan McClain. In P3, Eric Zulske. I guess they're starting to line up now. I apologize. I thought maybe they were going single file for a minute. They will not be doing that. I believe the lights are out on the iRacing official pace truck. Yes, they are. It will make its way into the safety of the pit lane. Here we go. When will Bentley Stewart release the hounds this time? He held it just a tiny bit later that time. It might have been a little bit of mind games on behalf, or on the minds, I should say, of these drivers. A little bit of a lag there for Bentley Stewart. So we'll switch our focus to the car currently running in P2. It's going to be Chase Copeland. Watch out for Aaron Bowman. He lays pressure on the number 5 of Jordan McClain. Drivers starting to realize that the top side might be the more advantageous side of things. Not a lot of cars on the bottom. I believe the top has been worked in. The bottom might have been worn out. And now we've got ourselves a momentum-based race. You're about to hear these super late models roar as they try to push it around the cushion up top. Bentley Stewart, your leader, has not stepped a foot nor tire wrong in this class here tonight. Behind him, Chase Copeland. We do have a battle in P10. It's going to be Jeffrey Hyatt. Maybe starting to wake up here. 33 laps to go. We've been around 42 times. And let me tell you, Jeffrey Hyatt, this is not somewhere you expect him to be, as he was fighting for the championship in the No Limit Racing Crown Jewel Tour, which has now, unfortunately, I think kind of been redacted from history. I think the Discord got deleted, and there's some weird things going on there, but that's why we see all these cool series popping up. You got DRT on Mondays, you got the Slingin Dirt series on Fridays, and you guys know I had to say it. You got the Win Cash Wednesday races from the OuTPost Racing League on Wednesdays. So the dirt racing community is fine for now, as Chase Copeland managing to kind of shrink the gap by just a little bit. It was 1.3 at a point, and now it sits at just at a second. It's going to be 0.6 of a second behind Copeland to the number 5 of Jordan McClain, and it has been these three drivers this night, all night. We cannot forget about Aaron. Run-of-the-mill, just average dirt racers. These guys are intense, these guys are extreme, and these guys, well, to be quite honest with you, they are just the best. As Bentley Stewart in the number 4 now, as we have a caution with 24 laps to go. Looks like Nicholas McDougall might have had himself a little bit of a moment. We'll take a look. Ooh, a little bit of a slider hard into the wall, and oh no. That's going to be Tyler Bickford who's actually going to run into him after the fact. Not very good if you are Tyler Bickford. As I apologize for the technical difficulties here, if you're familiar with me at all, you know I've been fighting a war with my internet service provider for almost a month and a half now. I believe 6 weeks today will be when I made that initial phone call, and things seem to not be getting any better. So if you do experience a little bit of a technical difficulty or a little bit of a buffer, just hold tight, hang on, and pray, because that's essentially what I'm doing. I am, unfortunately, at the mercy of my internet connection. 21 laps to go here in the race. Hopefully, it will be brought to you in the clearest of qualities, as this has been one heck of a show. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, $100 to win here tonight, as Bentley Stewart looks to be the guy taking that home. Green flag is out again. 20 laps to go. It's going to be I take that back, 23. I keep forgetting that the timing tower does indeed count the laps, and we are going to be yellow again, it looks like. As I'm not sure what exactly happened. I believe maybe Nicholas McDougal. We'll have to get a look here at how the start actually went. McDougal there in the 0-5. You can see I got a report that he had crashed. Still trying to maybe figure out how that happened, and the flag came out, but I don't see anybody in a world of hurt or anything, really, so that's just a little strange. Lights on the pace truck gonna be out. That means we will be green next time. By Bentley Stewart, I'm sure, is getting antsy, sitting in the lead. All these cautions, all these seemingly avoidable cautions, maybe in the eyes of him, could be getting in the way of his glory, and we are not going to go green. So I'm sure this time around is going to be the final for our iRacing official pace truck. He will pull into the safety of the pit lane and let these drivers go to war once again. As I'm now getting an ungodly buzz on my phone about a flash flood warning. We're not going to worry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Bentley Stewart pushes the button. Coming out of turn number 4, we are green. Bentley Stewart, Chase Copeland, Jordan McLean. Your current top 3 here. Aaron Bowman looking to slide up and force the issue on Eric Zulske. There's Aiden Lewis in the number 55. He is not going to... Look at what's going on down at the bottom. I just got speechless for a second. Eric Zulske denying Jeffrey Hyatt the bottom door. They are battling for P9. Yes, that is P8, actually, ladies and gentlemen. So maybe just a tiny bit of a questionable move when it comes to race integrity by Eric Zulske. Bentley Stewart 1.44 seconds back, or I guess ahead, of Chase Copeland, who now is starting to feel the pressure from Jordan McLean. McLean up 6 spots into P2. Here comes Aaron Bowman, also around Chase Copeland. What has happened to Copeland? We saw him potentially saving some stuff in the beginning, but now his pace just seems to be off. As it's going to be a 16.04 for him. Scott Dobbs has had a moment. We have our 6th yellow of the night. So we'll go back and have a look here. This is Scott Dobbs going to run into Tyler Bickford, who is then also going to collect Derek Darnell. And the track's starting to prove difficult for a couple of these drivers here tonight, so it'll be very interesting to see how they tackle these last few laps. We get a look there at the 63 of Clifford Driscoll. He is going to be your biggest mover on the night. Up 8 spots. Aaron Bowman is also tied for being up 8 spots. However, I do believe he is starting on the inside of row number 2, so that would actually be 9 spots up for Aaron Bowman. So, you know, unfortunately, Clifford Driscoll, you're doing a fantastic job here tonight. But Aaron Bowman is going to be our hard charger with 9 spots up, and Bentley Stewart has just pulled it into the pit lane. Maybe just a top off on fuel, but if they do not give him the spot back, that is going to be a race lead just essentially surrendered. And you have to wonder what is up with Bentley Stewart. There's a decent chance. I think he might be out of the car. Yeah, the iRacing official pace truck is going to pull in. Bentley Stewart has just surrendered not only the debut win here for the hooked up super late models, but he surrendered $100 because this race is $100 to win, and now it's wide open. 3 wide for P2, Chase Copeland. Gonna be chipping it around the top, trying to get every single RPM out of that super late model that he can. Aaron Bowman and Aiden Lewis now going to war. Aiden Lewis with a slider on Aaron Bowman. He is going to make contact with the wall, but he's able to anchor and maintain that position up top. Aaron Bowman now in the number 44. It's going to be 3 wide, and look who it is. It's Jeffrey Hyatt of all people. He was running horrible for the first good bit of this race, and he is now back on top. Or near the top, I should say. It's going to be 9 spots up. Jordan McLean currently has the lead. We talked to him when he got podium in the street stock race a little earlier. He said, yeah, it gives me a little bit of confidence, but I mean, at the end of the day, these cars are 2 completely different beasts, but it seems to not be. He is in tune with this one, just as he was with his street stock. It's going to be a 15.57 for him that time around. That's going to be the fastest lap of anybody on track actively. Aiden Lewis now down to the bottom of Aaron Bowman. It's the 55 versus the 44 drag race to turn number 110. Laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. And if you thought the race was getting a little stagnant or getting a little stale, how about that from Bentley Stewart? I am completely blind to any further reasoning that might exist for Bentley Stewart pulling it off the track and just randomly surrendering the victory. But ladies and gentlemen, it has happened, and the door has now opened for all the drivers in the grid. Jordan McLean and Chase Copeland have unfortunately checked out from the rest of the grid behind Copeland. It's going to be 2.5 seconds to Aiden Lewis, who then has a 1.5 seconds almost on Clifford Driscoll, who is filling in that best of the rest spot in P4. 7 laps to go. And Jordan McLean is seeing nothing but daylight, like Sean Alexander in 07. It seems like no one can touch him and no one can catch up to him. Big mover, hard charger, whatever you want to call it. Going to go to Clifford Driscoll, part of 3D Racing He is currently in P4, up 12 spots. Jeffrey Hyatt has fallen back to P8 after what was an incredible run for him. For just a moment, we got a moment, a flash of greatness from him. Tyler Bickford in the 07. He won the street stock. I almost said super street stock. He won the street stock race here a little earlier tonight. Going to go for the crossover on the 32 of Dylan Jones. Hasn't really been Dylan Jones this night either. He's down 2 spots. Slider from Bickford to Bowman. Bowman going to cross it over and try to get the advantage on the next corner on the inside. Slider lines being thrown. 3 laps to go. Chase Copeland is now in the lead. What has happened here? Jordan McLean is into the pit lane. What is going on? It seems scripted. It seems planned. Chase Copeland comes around, white flag in the air. And there is nobody within a country mile. Chase Copeland. It honestly seems like it was kind of gifted to him. $100 and the inaugural hooked up super late model winner here in the Slingin Dirt Series race night in America. Chase Copeland goes home paid. Aiden Lewis in P2. He is continuing his dominant run of form. Clifford Driscoll, your hardest charger, up 13 positions. He is going to finish on the bottom step of the rostrum. And P3 on the night, there is your winner. Chase Copeland in the 110. And we're going to have to, I mean, we have just absolutely got to go back and take a look. Jordan McLean just surrendered, essentially. What in the world has happened there? We'll have to go back and take a look here pretty soon. But for now, we're going to start our Outpost Racing Network post-race show by bringing in third place finisher and our hardest charger of the night, the number 63 super late model driver of Clifford Driscoll III. Clifford, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you. How you doing?
Man, I am doing wonderful, and I'm sure you're doing wonderful as well because of the seemingly gifted podium that you have received. I mean, Bentley Stewart, Jordan McLean, both just pulling it into the pit lane. I am completely blind to all comms or, information that's laid over, so do you have any idea why they just pulled it in? Was it a fuel problem, technical problem? What was the issue there?
Yeah, word over communications I was hearing there was a couple of them were short on fuel, and I wasn't sure who it was, but I guess it was those two.
Well, what do you know? What a wild way to wrap up the night. Now, you did not take place in the street stock race earlier, I believe. So with that being said, your first look of the track was tonight. How did it feel? How did it race? And, what was the key takeaways?
Well, I kind of threw myself under the bus in the heat race. I put in a setup that was just way too tight to make anything work there, and I started on the bottom, so caught a tractor tire first thing this evening, so that didn't help our case. But once we got to the feature, I was a little short on fuel at the beginning too, but starting at the back, I kind of had an advantage with that. I could kind of ride around and just let the race come to me. Once it got railed around the top there, it was going to be hard to pass, so you just kind of tried to make the moves where you could make them without killing your own momentum and giving somebody else an opportunity on you. I think the track ran in fairly well. I mean, it had a couple different grooves for the restart. You could kind of keep up long enough to slide up in line on top, and then if you could do it better than the guys around you, you could kind of create your own little runs. So overall, not too bad. I think the track was pretty good tonight. I couldn't really ask for much better.
Well, yeah, you're right. I mean, the track seemed to play into your hand. It was an amazing strategy on your part. You got it done. You finished P3, the final step on the rostrum here tonight. And it proves that you might be a force that we're talking to all season long. Before we let you get out of here and celebrate the podium here tonight, is there anybody you would like to shout out or thank for the performance?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to thank the guys over at 3D Racing. Racing with those guys definitely improved me as a driver, and they're just a good bunch of guys who are willing to share knowledge and make you shine on race day. So big shout out to those guys. Got to thank everybody over at Sim Fans Racing League. Everything Johnny does and puts that on. It's a great place to race against good guys. Good place to get some practice, for me as well. So Tim Meesemer for throwing this wrap together for me with his HX race cars. It's been a heck of a season so far, all around. Hope to continue in this league as well. It's seems to be pretty good competition, so I'm excited for it. Hope to talk to you again next week.
Yes, sir, as do I. That is going to be your third place finisher, Clifford Driscoll the third in the 63 super late model. Moving on to our second place finisher tonight. It's going to be a driver who, if we're being honest, I have gone on the record. I've said his form has been increasing. He's getting more consistent, more structure in these top 5 placements. It's going to be the 5-5 of Aiden Lewis. Aiden, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Man, you have been cooking. Yeah, I mean, it was one heck of a show that you guys put on, and it did turn out to come down to the fuel management. Kind of walk me through it. Tell me, did you just prep the race car with enough fuel, or did you have to kind of work at it to get that fuel number down and clear?
I mean, I saved for about the first probably 25-ish laps, and then gradually kind of upped my pace. But just to save as much fuel towards the end to where I could, have some weight and be able to run the middle if it was there. But the middle never really came in much. But yeah, I mean, I put in enough gallons to have enough at the start. I guess some people try to cut it short to be able to hit the top better or something. I don't know, but yeah.
Well, you got it done here. You finished P2 silver. Step on the podium. Going to be a good points night for you here as we get forward with the rest of the season. Before we let you go, is there anybody you would like to shout out or thank for the performance here tonight?
Oh yeah. I'd like to, I'd like to thank my dad. He helps me so much, and because he was watching, and I like to thank Midwest a lot because they helped me just so much, dude. I've learned so much just from them, and CFM setups. They give us a lot of stuff we can build and progress off of, and Aces and Nates Designs for my wrap, and I got a new wrap coming here soon, which I'll be excited to show out. And thank you for broadcasting and everybody for the good race.
Yes, sir. Well, we appreciate the kind words, Aiden. Hope to be talking to you more throughout the season, as I get a feeling we will, because you're on quite a good run as of late. That's going to be your P2 finisher here tonight, the 55 of Aiden Lewis. And moving toward our last interview of the night, it's going to go to the man who got paid. Here he's going to take home the victory and the cash. It's going to be the 110 of Chase Copeland. Chase, how you feeling?
I felt like $100, Mr. Mackington. How are you?
Oh, man, I'm doing well. Now, we do have the elephant in the room that we have to get out of the way. It kind of just came in a gift box for you, man. I mean, Jordan McLean and Bentley Stewart both having to go out on fuel. How did that feel? And when you saw him pull off and you get to the front, I guess just again, how did it feel?
Yeah, no, we had a terrible race car. Crew chief and driver needs to be fired tonight. We just kind of made some of the wrong tweaks going in, and that's what I was telling Aiden when we were in the waiting channel. I was tight where I needed to be loose, and I was loose where I needed to be tight. And I figured we'd just ride behind Bentley the entire time and be lucky to get a top 3 and be able to come up here and talk to you. But yeah, we kind of lost the top there and fell back to 4th. And under that yellow, Bentley pulled in, said he didn't have enough fuel. And I was like, well, that sucks. And I kind of figured we were going to go backwards after that, but we were lucky enough to, kind of find the top back. And I really hated that Jordan lost fuel too. He's been a great addition over to our team over at Midwest and has just been super competitive ever since he came over and has some some of the most superb racecraft and respect on the sim, and I was really hoping he would get the dub tonight. But yeah, the gods just kind of shined upon us, I guess, in a way. Gave some people some bad luck, which always sucks. Never wish on anybody, but it's always cool to come out here and get the first dub of Slingin Dirt's racing night in America and grab a little cash along the way. I mean, we'll take it either way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now that I will believe, but the car count tonight for the street stock was quite literally half of what it was in the super late model series. Now I ask that because it seems the drivers that were there for the street stock race, they kind of started the race on a better foot than most of the other drivers. Do you think that getting that seat time, albeit in a completely different race car, quite literally at the other end of the spectrum when it comes to power here in the dirt racing community, do you think that did indeed help you, or what? Are you just that good in a super late model?
No, I'm not that good. I'm washed. But I mean, yeah, no, I mean, in some aspects, it's true what you just said. Like it does. I always tell everybody, like, if you're struggling with throttle control or anything, go run UMPs or go run street stocks on the 100% slick track, with some leagues that are out there. And the street stocks are another great way to kind of learn throttle control, and especially when the track starts to get slick through the center, just the way that they're built and the way they're set up on the sim. So yeah, it does help you in some aspects, but you still got to put in the time to get laps in the car that you're actually going to run, get laps in the super and get some practice in. I was kind of focused more on paints today and kind of had my head up my ass and didn't really focus on the sets, and that kind of showed. Like I said, we were probably a third, maybe fourth place car in all reality, and we ended up getting some luck at the end. But yeah, we'll kind of fine tune for in 2 weeks when we come back to here, and we'll give it another shot and try to put some more time in, and maybe hopefully get another dub and kind of extend the points lead.
Yes, sir. That is ideal for a driver like yourself. You just got it done. You're walking home winner, and you're walking home paid, Mr. Copeland. Is there anybody you would like to thank or shout out for the performance here tonight?
Absolutely. As always, all the guys over at Majula's Heat Speed Shop, keeping us fast week in and week out with the sets, and giving us, like I always say, the knowledge and the ability to communicate what we need, and just being able to tune on their stuff, and like Aiden said, progress with what they already have that is super fast. And I highly recommend them to anybody that's looking to get into the sim or to get with a speed shop and to get faster in any official or league that you're running. And we really appreciate all the homies over at Midwest Sim Sports. We couldn't do it without them. We got a great little community built over there with some great guys, and they just kind of make the sim fun for us soon to be unks in our 20s and 30s, just kind of out here having fun. Huge shout out to Aces and Eights for the wraps. I kind of ran a little something that I put together tonight, but I think we're definitely going to put the Aces and Eights wrap back on for next week. It's just a little bit prettier of a ride. Jeffrey does some great work. Derek and everybody that's part of Slingin Dirt for putting this race on and for adding something else to the sim community and throwing some money out at us. And you for always doing the streams, man. We love you over at DRT and everything else you've done, and it's cool to see you over here at another league that's doing some cool stuff.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate the kind words. Chase Copeland, your winner here tonight. $100 going to him. More importantly, that championship lead in the number 110 super late model. Oh, well, he was going to say something, but I kicked him out. It's all good. He's my homie. I don't really care. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for the race here tonight. Thank you all so much for coming out and supporting the Slingin Dirt series. It's race night in America. We'll go over your final results. You can see them on the left side there. Chase Copeland getting it done. That is actually the warm-up. I apologize. Chase Copeland getting it done. Aiden Lewis only 2.6 seconds behind in P2. Clifford Driscoll, Tyler Bickford, Aaron Bowman, Dylan Jones, Eric Zulske, Scott Dobbs, Jeffrey Hyatt, Nicholas McDougall, Derek Darnell, TJ Boyd, Jordan McLean, Ricky Barfield, Brandon Schatz, and Bentley Stewart round out the finishing go of things. Well, it's been a magnificent night, ladies and gentlemen. You can catch this series again Not next Friday. It's a bi-weekly series, so it's going to be 2 Fridays from now. I believe that lands on July 10th. You can find us back here for week number 2. We'll have street stocks. We'll have super late models. It'll be one heck of a time. I can promise you that. Thank you all for joining the stream. Thank you for all the likes, comments, and subscribes. And from everybody over at Slingin Dirt, thank you guys for tuning in. And also, if you're a driver, thank you for being a part of the greatness. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. We'll see you in the next one.